Welcome to the Tulsa Cement Plant, owned by the Central Plains Cement Company. We operate 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with the capacity of approximately 800,000 tons of cement. Here in Tulsa, our strong priority is the safety and health of all of our employees, contractors, suppliers, and visitors. This video is designed to familiarize you with the hazards and safety programs at this facility. When you arrive, and before going anywhere else, you should meet with your Central Plains contact. All visitors must sign in at the plant every day. You must also sign out when you leave. Your Central Plains contact will tell you where to sign in. After signing in, your contact will take you through the site-specific hazard awareness checklist. You must acknowledge your understanding by signing the form for our records. If you have any questions or concern about anything, discuss with your plant contact, or go to the console building and ask the shift operator for help. In an emergency, call the console at 918-437-3902, extension 250. The primary assembly point for the plant is at the front parking lot. The secondary assembly point is located at the truck loading scale house. Immediately report any unsafe conditions to your Central Plains contact. Every visitor is expected to wear the appropriate safety equipment required for your job. At a minimum, this will consist of a hard hat, steel-toed safety boots, high-visibility reflective clothing, and safety glasses. Traffic patterns at the facility are clearly marked. Unless posted otherwise, the speed limit is 10 miles per hour. The speed limit in the quarry is 35 miles per hour for non-heavy equipment traffic. It is important to follow all posted traffic signs, as there are large trucks and equipment with limited visibility operating throughout the plant. Traffic pattern in the quarry is right-hand. Seatbelt use is required by law and is a mandatory requirement while operating motor vehicles on Central Plains property. The use of cell phones or texting while operating any mobile equipment on plant property is prohibited. In certain areas of the plant, hearing protection is required. These are clearly marked. We recommend carrying hearing protection at all times. Weather conditions change frequently. During inclement weather, be extra careful of footing and slippery walking and working surfaces. All vehicles are to be double chalked, front and back of one tire, when parked on a grade. All attachments must be lowered to the ground. Lowered attachments do not qualify as chalking of wheels. Immediately report any accident or incident to the Central Plains contact person. Petroleum-based chemical spills equal to or greater than 5 gallons are to be reported to your contract coordinator or the environmental manager. Alcohol and drugs are strictly prohibited at the facility. There are various alarms and sirens in this facility. Equipment starts remotely throughout the plant. When equipment starts and stops, you'll hear this sound as a warning to stand clear. If you are in the building when the evacuation siren sounds, or in the event of a power outage, calmly and quickly leave the building by the stairs or the elevator if operational. In the event of an emergency in the operations building, you will hear this sound, and these lights will flash. You should gather at the assembly or muster point in the parking area in the front of the operations building. In the event of a plant-wide emergency, you will be notified to leave the operating plant area and assemble at this same assembly or muster point. In the event of a tornado, go to the basement at the console building and follow the instructions from the emergency coordinator. The remainder of this video will address procedures specific to working visitors and contractors. There will be a brief quiz at the end, so please listen carefully. There are various potential hazards within the plant. Therefore, stay in your designated area, unless there is an emergency or you're authorized and have appropriate training. Maintain 33 feet, 10 meters, distance from any working face of stockpile. Do not enter a confined space unless you are trained to do so. Do not enter substations unless authorized. Work must not be performed within 10 feet of overhead power lines. Do not have contact with energized equipment. If you are trained to perform maintenance work on any energized piece of equipment, remember to lock out, tag out, block out, and try out. Never perform lockout, tag out on any equipment if you are not trained to do so. All compressed air lines fitted with Chicago-type couplings must have safety pins installed. Do not direct compressed air towards yourself or others. Use the blowers provided to remove dust from your skin and clothing. Store cylinders upright and properly secured at all times. Flammables that are in storage must be labeled with a "No Smoking or Open Flame" sign. Compliance with the MSHA Part 47 Hazard Communication Standard is required. This requires container labeling and safety data sheets for all chemicals brought onto the property. A copy of the SDS shall be provided to the safety and environmental managers. SDS are kept in 5 locations throughout the plant and on the EEE online database. Contractors performing work that has the potential for disturbing asbestos-containing material, ACBM, shall coordinate with their site contact person prior to performing work. The ammonia system is monitored constantly, and in the event of a problem, an alarm will sound along with a warning light. Persons in the area should move upwind and away from the storage tank. A windsock is located at the ammonia system that shows wind direction. Landfill gas is utilized in the kilns and raw mills. Isolation of this system may be necessary when performing work. You must be task trained to do the job. MSHA requires training for any new task or for an old task where one component has changed. Every contractor must have a Central Plains contact person. That person will assist you to comply with our many requirements while on site. Be sure you know who your contact is and how to reach them. It is your employer's responsibility to provide the necessary personal protective equipment to complete your job safely. Appropriate MSHA certification may be required, and depending on the task you are assigned, you may need additional training. Individuals without MSHA certification are required to be escorted 100% of the time with an MSHA-trained miner. Your Central Plains contact will advise you on any additional training requirements. Submit a list of all the hazardous chemicals that will be brought on the site. Contractors are required to maintain material safety data sheets for each of these chemicals. Conduct daily toolbox safety meetings and weekly safety meetings, with notes to be given to the Central Plains contact. Issues discussed should include safe work plans, new hazards, and appropriate actions taken to eliminate the hazards. Inspect your equipment and work area before each shift. Set up barricades to prevent others from coming in contact with hazards you may create while working. Stay in your work area. Ensure that all containers have a label. Inspect your area before completing a task. Leave everything in a better condition than you found it. No contractor may work in the plant without first completing a safe work permit. We require 1 permit per job. These should be filled out, discussed, and approved by your contact, and then approved by the control room operator. You will be required to document certain daily risk assessments or inspections. Your Central Plains contact will inform you of these requirements and review the documentation to be completed before work commences. The work area must be left neat and orderly. All personal locks must be removed before leaving the facility unless otherwise instructed. Be sure any remaining hazards due to the site work are identified and barricaded. All work permits must be closed in the central control room. There are some very low-level radiation sources at the facility. These are clearly marked and they present a minimal risk. Firearms and alcohol are not permitted on Central Plains property. Smoking is not permitted within 25 feet of any area posted as no smoking. Dispose of cigarette butts in a proper receptacle. In some instances, barrier taping and tagging is required. The tag shall include your name and company, the date, the tape's purpose, and your Central Plains contact. Remove the tape once the job is complete and the hazard is eliminated. Any oil, fuel, or other hazardous material spills should be reported to the control room immediately. Central Plains has a drug and alcohol testing policy. In the event of an accident, injury, or suspicion of substance abuse, Central Plains will require either drug testing or the removal of the employee from the plant. Thank you for viewing this video. Your Central Plains contact should review additional hazards and safety concerns unique to the area in which you will be working. When in doubt, ask. It is time to take the quiz. Upon your successful completion, you will be given a sticker to place on your hard hat. Thank you for your attention, and please be careful and work safely.